Discover the incredible moment a single dad transformed a female CEO's wedding experience forever. Jake Thompson sat on his work stool in the garage, heart pounding as he meticulously arranged handcrafted flowers for the wedding decor. The warm spring air drifted through the open garage door, whispering hints of hope and love. As he worked, his 13-year-old daughter, Lily, played nearby, humming softly to herself. Their lives had become a tapestry woven with struggles and dreams, yet laughter never escaped their home. Jake poured his heart into each creation, imagining the joy it would bring to someone special. Little did he know, these decorations would soon become a lifeline for someone craving a miracle. Meanwhile, in a world adorned with chandeliers and designer suits, Emma Dawson, a powerful CEO, felt her dream wedding crumbling into dust. High-end vendors backed out days before her big day, leaving her frantically searching for alternatives. Panic surged through her, tightening her chest as thoughts of shame flooded her mind. A tear slipped down her cheek, reflecting the weight of expectations crushing her spirit. In that moment, scrolling through her feed, she stumbled upon Jake's handcrafted decorations, vibrant, delicate, bursting with emotion. A glimmer of hope sparked within her, igniting a desperate wish that this humble craftsman could save her special day. "Jake! Look at this!" Lily exclaimed, peering over his shoulder at a bright screen. Her eyes widened as she saw the likes piling up on their post. A flicker of excitement bubbled in Jake's stomach. Maybe the world outside could see the love he put into every single piece. Their conversations evolved, and within the exchange of ideas about flowers and fabrics, the walls between their worlds crumbled. "I grew up with nothing," Jake confided one night, "but I dream of a life where Lily can flourish without our struggles." Emma's heart ached in response. She shared tales of her journey, balancing the burden of success with the fear of failure. Two lives intertwined, revealing layers of resilience and vulnerability, and unexpected friendship blossoming beyond their class divide. Yet, as the wedding day approached, whispers of judgment echoed around them. Emma's colleagues eyed Jake, skepticism written on their faces. "Can this blue-collar craftsman really handle the demands of our event?" they sneered. Doubt gnawed at Jake, shadows of inadequacy creeping in. Could his humble nature survive in this world of glitz and glamour? Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As the sun dipped below the horizon the night before the wedding, chaos erupted. An unforeseen crisis nearly shattered everything Emma had worked tirelessly to create. Panic rippled through her as she realized her dream was slipping away. In that moment of despair, Jake felt his heart race. He knew he had to act, to summon every ounce of courage and ingenuity he possessed. With the community behind him and a plan solidifying in his mind, he stepped out of his comfort zone, a leap of faith bridging the gap between two worlds. Would they rise above judgment and societal expectations, choosing the path of friendship and love? As the clock ticked towards the big day, every moment felt weighty with decisions that could alter their lives forever. With the future hanging in the air like a suspended breath, they stood at a crossroads, a chance to redefine what truly mattered. As dawn broke over the horizon, the world outside felt fresh and alive, but within Emma's once stately venue, anxiety brewed. Her heart raced, knowing time was ticking away. Her dream wedding hung by a thread, and all she could think about was the look of disappointment on her fiancé's face if everything fell apart. "Breathe, Emma," she whispered to herself, pacing back and forth. She struggled to embrace the calm she desperately needed. The florist had cancelled, the catering team had pushed their appointment, and everything felt like it was spiraling under the weight of expectations. She picked up her phone, fingers trembling slightly as she glanced at messages from friends, all gleaming with excitement. They had no idea of the storm brewing just beneath the surface. Meanwhile, Jake had geared up for the day, his heart filled with determination. He stood in his garage, surrounded by petals of every hue. The evening's chaos made his mind dance with ideas. He could use this moment not just to craft decorations but to elevate Emma's entire wedding experience. Let us prove them wrong, he muttered with fierce resolve. He could already envision themselves working side by side, creating an exquisite atmosphere that acknowledged their contrasts yet celebrated their friendship. Lily peeked in from the corner, eyes sparkling at the excitement brewing in her dad. "What's the plan, Dad?" she asked, sensing the familiar buzz of possibility. "Don't you worry. We're going to show them what true craftsmanship looks like," he said, his voice warm, despite the flurry of emotions tumbling through him. He grabbed a notebook filled with sketches and notes and turned to Lily. "Let us get to work, kiddo." As Jake and Lily gathered their supplies, Emma found herself standing at the entrance of the venue, her mind racing and heart heavy. The venue shimmered with golden accents and tables set to perfection, yet it felt hollow without the warmth of her personal touch. She glanced at the guest list faces that expected grandeur but knew little of her struggles. A sense of isolation washed over her as she recognized the disparity between her success and the vulnerability she felt. By mid-morning, Jake arrived, his arms full of floral arrangements and crafts that boasted both elegance and simplicity. Just as Lily promised, they had brought along elements that mirrored both their stories and dreams, a blend of rustic joy and high-end visuals that could turn any doubts into admiration. The blossoming friendship between him and Emma stirred like a fresh breeze in the room. "Jake, is that really you?" Emma exclaimed, disbelief washing over her. The decorations that lined the entrance were exactly what she envisioned, vibrant yet classy, echoing the spirit of togetherness she had yearned for. "Thought I'd bring a little taste of home," he replied, a bashful smile spreading across his face. They both felt the connection that went beyond their backgrounds. It was a recognition of shared humanity, yet just as hope began to fill the air, whispers from the corners of the room could be heard amidst laughter and excitement. "She must be desperate to hire a blue-collar to save the day," a familiar voice taunted. Emma felt her heart drop again. Would their brilliance be overshadowed by snide remarks? With the moment hanging heavy and brittle, Jake caught her eye. "You know what? Let us reframe this. Let us show them what passion can create," he encouraged softly, determination sparking between them. The clock was ticking, threatening to unravel them again, but as their eyes met, unspoken resolve ignited a belief that together, their combined worlds could flourish in a dazzling display. Would they truly see her in that moment, not just as a CEO but as a woman with dreams and fears? Emma thought, brimming with newfound uncertainty, hoping, just hoping, they could rise above. What lay ahead as the guests started arriving, their expectations looming like dark clouds, ready to latch onto any misstep. Could Jake's humble creations turn the tide, transforming both their perceptions and their lives? As the grand clock in the venue ticked closer to the wedding ceremony, the air shimmered with excitement, but underneath it all was a current of tension. Emma felt the pulse of her anxiety beat in rhythm with the clock thump, thump, thump. Guests were already arriving, their laughter and chatter spilling into her carefully curated world. She tried to maintain a calm facade, standing near the entrance. But every time she caught a glimpse of her friends, their faces lit up with anticipation, a wave of panic washed over her. What if they looked past the decorations, past the effort she and Jake had put in? What if they only saw her failures? As she battled these thoughts, Lily dashed over, her small frame adorned with a cute floral dress and hair pulled back in a neat bun. "Mom! Look at all the flowers. It's like magic." Her little voice bubbled with joy, pulling Emma back from the edge of her spiraling thoughts. "It really is beautiful, sweetheart," Emma replied, forcing a smile as she swept her daughter into a hug. "Dad did all of it," Lily continued, her eyes shining. "And he said you helped too." For a moment, Emma allowed herself to bask in the warmth of that thought. She and Jake had poured their hearts into this day. Maybe, just maybe, their hard work would shine through the snide remarks. Suddenly, a group of guests approached, led by her closest friend, Sarah. "Emma!" Sarah called, her voice bright. "You have to see this. It's incredible." Emma followed, heart fluttering, and was instantly enveloped by her friend's infectious excitement. The group moved toward the floral arch adorning the entrance, masterfully crafted with greenery and vibrant blooms that encapsulated the essence of both Emma's and Jake's visions. "Did you do this?" Sarah gushed, her eyes wide as she traced her fingers over the fresh petals. "This is stunning. You truly outdid yourself." The warmth of genuine admiration seeped into Emma's heart, momentarily quelling the storm within her. She turned to Jake, who was adjusting the placement of some centerpieces. Their eyes met, and in that fleeting moment, she saw the same flame of hope reflected back at her. But then the familiar voice of Melissa cut through the joy like a knife. "Well, I never would have expected such a creative approach," she scoffed, loud enough for everyone to hear. That thinly veiled insult hovered in the air like poison. Emma felt her throat tighten as her face flushed with embarrassment. She could feel the eyes of her friends shift, the support they offered battling with the poisonous sting of Melissa's words. Jake's shoulders stiffened, he stepped forward, his expression a mix of discomfort and determination. "Emma and I wanted to create something meaningful. This day is about love, not status," he declared, his voice strong but calm. Emma's heart warmed at his defense, his belief in their shared vision adding fuel to her emotions. The guests started gathering around, intrigued. "Love?" Melissa's tone dripped with condescension. "Let us not forget who is pulling the strings here." Emma swallowed hard, wrestling with the heaviness of those words. Could she stand tall amidst the criticism? Could she transform this moment of judgment into one of triumph? It was as if the room had paused, holding its breath, waiting for her next move. Just then, a soft hand took hers. "Lily's, Mom, you got this," she whispered. Emma felt the warmth of her daughter's trust shimmer through her, breaking through the shadows that shrouded her heart. Taking a deep breath, Emma turned toward the group, ready to embrace the moment, to reclaim her narrative. "You're right, Melissa. This is about love, the love that goes beyond appearances and class. It's about friendship, hard work, and believing in each other." As the crowd murmured around her, intrigued by her newfound strength, she could feel the tide slowly turning. But would it be enough to shift the narrative at this wedding? The ceremony was about to begin, and uncertainty and hope clashed within her as she prepared for whatever came next. Would they all see the truth that lay beneath the surface, or would the shadows of judgment remain? Emma could feel the ground beneath her starting to shift, and in that dizzying moment, she knew that this was the beginning of something bigger. What would happen when the vows were exchanged and the heart of the day finally revealed itself? Emma's heart raced, knowing the moment was almost upon her. The soft chime of the grand clock echoed through the hall as the ceremony began. Emma's heart raced, each beat underscoring the importance of what was about to unfold. She glanced at Jake, who stood proudly at the altar, his nervous smile radiating warmth that seemed to melt away the tension hanging in the air. Lily squeezed Emma's hand tighter, her little face beaming with excitement. "I can't wait, Mom," she exclaimed, her anticipation bubbling over. "It's going to be the best day ever." Looking down at her daughter, Emma felt a rush of love that made her momentarily forget the barbs of criticism. She thought of all the late nights and early mornings they had spent planning, crafting each detail, pouring their love into every flower and arrangement. This was their day. As Emma took her place beside Jake, she felt the weight of the moment. They were about to vow their love, to declare their commitment to one another in front of those who mattered most. She scanned the crowd, catching familiar faces. Sarah offered a thumbs up, while her parents wore looks of pure pride. Maybe this was more than just a day to showcase their hard work. Maybe it was a testament to the family they were building together. The officiant began, his voice steady and comforting. As he spoke, Emma felt her nerves slowly give way to resolve. She felt the strength of Jake's hand as he reached for hers, grounding her in this shared experience. Their eyes locked, and in that moment, everything else receded: the judgments, the criticisms, the looming doubts. when it was time to recite their vows, Jake held her gaze with fierce determination. "Emma, you are the light that made my life whole. With you, I see the world anew." His voice carried conviction, each word resonating deeply within her. "I promise to stand by you through the laughter and the tears, to lift you when the weight of the world feels too heavy." Emma's breath caught in her throat. Her heart swelled, and tears blurred her vision as she prepared to share her own vows. She had spent weeks crafting them, wanting to communicate the depths of her feelings. "Jake, you taught me the true meaning of love and partnership. You make me want to be a better person. I promise to be your supporter, your confidant, and your greatest fan." A murmur of approval rippled through the crowd, and Emma began to feel that perhaps they were truly witnessing something beautiful beyond the criticisms, beyond the doubts. This was real. This was them, but before she could finish, Melissa's voice broke the moment again, the sneer unmistakable. "How touching. But does anyone really believe it?" Emma's insides churned. It was a cruel reminder that her wedding would never fully escape judgment. But this time, something had shifted within her. The gathering energy, the intertwining hands of her family and friends, it overwhelmed the negativity that threatened to seep in. "Listen, Melissa," Emma began, her voice stronger than she felt. "You don't have to understand our journey. You don't have to accept us. But this love, our love stands here and it's real. We're not just putting on a show, we're promising forever." The guests held their breath, Emma's boldness surprising even herself. She could see surprise across the faces in the crowd, eyebrows lifted and mouths slightly agape. For her, it felt liberating, nearly tangible. As she faced Jake again, the love and admiration in his eyes made her heart swell. The fear started to fade, replaced with hope. In that moment, surrounded by those she loved, it became clear that no matter what anyone thought, they were building their own legacy. As the officiant smiled warmly, ready for the next moment, Emma felt electric anticipation surge through her. What would be the final words that bound them together in front of their cherished friends and family? Would it be enough to drown out the past? The weight of the moment held her firm, and she couldn't shake the feeling that this pivotal moment was just the beginning. What awaited them after they exchanged those coveted vows? Emma's heart pounded in a mixture of hope and uncertainty. She knew the best was yet to come. The officiant's voice broke through the charged silence, calling them back to the present. "Do you have the rings?" he asked, and the moment felt as if it expanded, stretching time for Emma and Jake. They exchanged quick glances, a mixture of excitement and apprehension illuminating their faces. Lily hopped on her tiny feet, barely containing herself. "Mom! Dad!" she squealed, clearly overjoyed as she held up the ring box, her small fingers trembling with delight. Emma couldn't help but smile at her daughter, the embodiment of their love standing so proudly, and in that instant, all the uncertainty began to piece itself together. Jake knelt down to Lily's level. "You ready, buddy?" he asked, gently brushing her hair behind her ear. "We'll need your help." Lily grinned as she opened the box, revealing two bands that sparkled like the stars in the night sky. Emma's heart fluttered. They had chosen these rings together, symbols of their deep commitment. Both rings bore intricate designs, representing the unique paths they had traveled to find each other. As they slid the rings onto each other's fingers, a soft gasp rippled through the audience. Emma felt the warmth of Jake's palm against hers, their fingers perfectly aligned, mingling promise with hope. Each gleam caught the light, radiating love, something she once doubted she could ever find again. "Now, repeat after me," the officiant prompted. Emma's heart raced once more, the echo of his words reverberated in her mind. "I give you this ring as a symbol of my love." With each word, she felt more connected not only to Jake but to everyone who had stood by them through their journey. She locked her eyes on Jake as they recited their vows together, the world around them fading into a soft harmony of whispers and rustling fabric. "With this ring, I promise to love you." Their voices intertwined, creating a melody that resonated throughout the hall, reaching every person there. But just as they finished, the tension shattered with Melissa's dismissive clapping. "Bravo! Such an original act. What's next, a TV special? Her mockery hung thick in the air, but this time there was no backing down. Melissa, Emma began, finding strength she didn't know she had. This is not for you. This is our joy, and if you can't accept that, that's your choice. The silence after her words felt heavy, but a warmth began to spread through the crowd, a shift of solidarity. Jake stepped in closer, wrapping an arm around Emma. We don't need your approval, Melissa. We have each other, and that's enough. His words, simple yet powerful, shifted the atmosphere. People began to nod, smiles replacing frowns, and a flicker of hope ignited in Emma's chest. As the officiant continued, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Applause erupted. Tears welled up in Emma's eyes. She had defeated the doubts, the whispers, and in that moment, she sealed a newfound confidence within herself and in her love for Jake. They turned to face their family and friends, the applause swelling louder, almost deafening. It was not just for their union but for them a celebration of resilience, defiance, and a love that refused to be tarnished. Lily rushed to them, throwing her arms around their waists, beaming with joy. You did it. You're married. The innocence of her excitement made Emma laugh, her heart swelling with pride and happiness. Emma and Jake shared a look, one filled with promise and dreams. They felt lighter, like the burdens of the past had lifted, allowing them to step into a bright future. But as they began to walk down the aisle, hand in hand, a lingering question popped into Emma's mind. Was Melissa truly going to let this go? Something told her this wasn't over. Emma felt a twist of unease mixed with determination. They had conquered today, but what storm lay ahead? The sound of applause faded into a distant hum as Emma and Jake stepped into the soft afternoon light, the world suddenly feeling vibrant and full of possibilities. Lily's laughter danced around them, a joyful melody that lifted Emma's heart even higher. She squeezed Jake's hand tighter, wanting to anchor herself in this moment of pure bliss. They paused for a moment, soaking in the scene around them. Friends and family were mingling, smiles on every face, tears of joy glistening in the corner of eyes. The air was thick with love, warmth, and well wishes, but in the distance, Emma spotted Melissa. Her expression was unreadable, and Emma couldn't shake the shiver that crept down her spine. Had it all truly changed? Would today mark a peaceful beginning, or was there still a storm brewing just out of sight? Hey, Jake nudged her gently. What are you thinking about? Emma shook her head, forcing a smile. Just the future, she replied, though it felt like she was lying. She could almost hear the faint echo of Melissa's mockery in her ears, a dark reminder that not everyone was there to celebrate their love. Lily pulled at their hands, looking up excitedly. Can we take pictures now? I want to take a picture with both of you. Her enthusiasm was infectious, and Emma felt her spirits lift a little more. Of course, sweetheart. They made their way over to the designated area, decorated with beautiful flowers and a backdrop that shouted love and joy. The photographer was quick to capture their spontaneous family moments, from Lily's goofy poses to the tender glances exchanged between Emma and Jake. Each flash made Emma's heart swell with happiness. This was what life was meant to be, a series of moments that stitched together a tapestry of joy. As they finished up, Emma turned to Jake, her voice softening. Can you believe we did it? Together, and with Lily by our side, he added, beaming. Yet another glance at Melissa cut through their bubble. She stood off to the side, arms crossed and a scowl on her face. Emma's stomach tightened. Could she truly ruin this day? Just then, Emma felt a tap on her shoulder. It was Sarah, one of her closest friends and someone who had rooted for them through thick and thin. You two were amazing up there, she declared, her eyes shining with excitement. Thanks, Sarah. Emma replied, grateful for her presence. Have you spoken to Linda after the ceremony? Sarah continued, her tone shifting slightly. I saw her chatting with Melissa. They looked intense. That news sent another wave of worry crashing through Emma. Linda was their mutual friend, known for her kind heart and thoughtful nature. What could they have possibly been discussing? The thought of Melissa pulling Linda into her web of negativity made Emma want to scream. Jake noticed the shift in her composure and touched her arm gently. "Hey, what is going on in that mind of yours?" "I don't know, Jake," Emma admitted. "I just can't shake the feeling that this isn't over. What if Melissa is planning something?" Jake's brow furrowed. "Then we handle it as it comes. We're a team, remember?" A deep breath filled Emma's lungs, and she found strength in his words. They had come so far, his past, all the hardships leading to this day, and she wouldn't let anyone jeopardize that. But as the sun began to set, casting a warm glow on the people around them, she knew the shadows loomed ever closer. She could feel it in the air, thick and heavy. "Let us enjoy tonight," Jake encouraged, squeezing her hand once more. "We earned it." Emma nodded, but inside, she wrestled with an underlying dread that wouldn't let go. The celebration continued around them, laughter, music, dancing, but the specter of Melissa's bitterness lingered like a chill. What could she possibly do next? Emma's heart raced, an unease settling in. As the last echoes of their wedding day unfurled into the starry night, Emma instinctively clutched Jake's arm closer. She knew they had to face whatever curveball Melissa might throw next. Could they protect their newfound happiness together, or was more trouble on the horizon? The night deepened, wrapping around the garden like a soft embrace, punctuated by strings of twinkling lights that hung between the trees. Emma's heart raced as laughter floated on the breeze, yet in the middle of all this joy, a shadow loomed. She couldn't help but keep her gaze scanning the crowd for Melissa, half hoping to see her retreat into the night. "Let us dance!" Lily shouted, pulling both Emma and Jake towards the dance area. Her infectious energy was a balm to Emma's worries, and she couldn't resist her daughter's enthusiasm. As they stepped onto the makeshift dance floor, Emma felt the music engulf her, a sweet melody filled with promise and nostalgia. Jake twirled Lily, her giggles ringing like chimes. Emma watched them, her heart swelling with love. This, she thought, was what family was all about: the laughter, the togetherness, and this unshakable bond they were building. But just as she was getting lost in that moment, she spotted Melissa again, lurking at the edge of the light, her arms still crossed defiantly. Emma's stomach twisted. Why wouldn't she just leave? "Emma?" Jake's voice pulled her back. "You okay?" "Yeah, just lost in thought," she replied, forcing a smile. Jake concernedly raised an eyebrow. "You want to talk about it?" "No," Emma whispered, shaking her head. "Not right now." She hated how her mood seemed to seep through the cracks of their joy. She wanted tonight to be perfect, to be a celebration without any shadows. As the music swelled, Jake pulled her into a slow dance. He held her close, and for a moment, the world melted away. It felt right, safe even. "You know I've got your back, right?" he murmured against her hair. Emma nodded, feeling the warmth of his body, but the tightness in her chest didn't ease. "I know," she said, trying to believe him. Their moment was shattered when Melissa stepped forward, her eyes fixed on Emma, a faint smirk dancing on her lips. "How cute," she called out, her voice cutting through the music, drawing attention from nearby guests. Emma's heart raced, and she squeezed Jake's hand tighter. "What do you want?" Emma called back, trying to keep her voice steady despite the tremor within. "I just wanted to congratulate you on making it this far. But you know, the past has a way of coming back." Melissa's words dripped with venom, and Emma's heart sank. "Leave her alone," Jake shouted, stepping in. The protective fire in his voice ignited something in Emma, a spark of courage she didn't know she had. "Or what? You'll embarrass yourself in front of your guests." Melissa laughed, an ugly sound that made Emma's skin crawl. Suddenly, a hush fell over the crowd. Eyes turned toward them, the atmosphere thick with tension. Emma's stomach twisted painfully. How could Melissa do this? Taking a deep breath, Emma stepped forward, her voice shaking but resolute. "You don't have to take part in our happiness, Melissa. Your negativity won't define us anymore. The crowd murmured, some nodding in agreement. Emma felt emboldened, invincible. But would that be enough? Melissa's expression flickered, the smirk wavering. You think you've won? This isn't over, you'll see, she declared, before turning on her heel and striding away, leaving a trail of uncertainty in her wake. The music resumed, but Emma's heart pounded louder than the beat. She turned back to Jake and Lily, who both looked like they had been holding their breath. Emma felt raw and vulnerable but also powerful, standing tall as their fears became tangible. Was this confrontation the end or just the beginning? The night continued to unfold around them, filled with laughter and dancing, yet Emma could sense the uncertainty lingering in the air. As she locked eyes with Jake, she knew one thing for sure: they would face whatever came together. But deep down, the question lingered like a bitter taste: what exactly had Melissa set in motion? As party lights twinkled brightly above, Emma swallowed hard, the weight of the night pressing down on her. She had defended her happiness, but would it be enough? The music pulsed around them, creating a bubble of energy that made it hard for Emma to focus. She could feel Lily's excitement radiating beside her, matching every beat of the song, and Jake's steady presence grounding her. Still, the exhilaration of the dance floor couldn't chase away the cold tendril of unease that gripped her heart. "Mom! Watch this!" Lily squealed, spinning around with wild abandon. Emma couldn't help but smile at her daughter's gleefulness, but even the laughter of other guests felt distant, muffled by her worries. "What if she comes back?" Emma murmured, her brow furrowed. "I don't know, but we won't let her spoil our night," Jake replied softly, placing his arm protectively around her shoulders. His warmth was comforting, but it couldn't completely drown out the nagging doubts teasing at the back of her mind. With a deep breath, she attempted to redirect her focus back to the moment. She spun into a dance with Lily, shaking off her anxieties like raindrops from a wet umbrella. They twirled and laughed, spinning wildly as if the music could shatter the shadows lurking in their hearts. Yet, just when Emma thought she had found that much-needed distraction, she spotted Melissa re-emerging from the darkness. There was something menacing about her presence, as though she thrived on the chaos she left in her wake. Emma's stomach dropped again, dread pooling deep inside her. "Jake!" she whispered, fear creeping back into her voice. That he turned, scanning the area but not seeing what she was. "What is it?" "Look," Emma pointed subtly in Melissa's direction. She yes back. Before Jake could respond, Melissa approached, her smile dangerously sharp. "I couldn't stay away. I thought you might find my company enlightening," she said, her eyes flashing with a wicked glint. Lily, sensing the shift, clung to Emma's side tightly. "Mom, I'm scared," she whispered. "Sweetie, it's okay," Emma reassured her with a squeeze. "Ignore her. We're here to enjoy the night." But inside, Emma's heart raced. How could she dismiss the hurtful words, genuine or not, that Melissa weaponized so easily? What had once been a beautiful evening now felt like a fragile bubble, ready to burst. "Why are you so obsessed with ruining everything?" Emma had to fight to keep her voice calm, the tension radiating through her body. Melissa leaned in closer, lowering her voice to a conspiratorial whisper. "Because every time you think you've made your perfect little family, I just enjoy reminding you it's built on a shaky foundation." That was it. Emma's breath hitched, her composure slipping. She was tired of playing defense. "You're wrong, Melissa. My family is built on love, not fear. And if you think you can tear us apart, you have no idea who you're dealing with." The words hung in the air, a challenge thrown down like a gauntlet. The crowd around them began to whisper, their eyes darting between the two women, aware that the tension was escalating. "Is that so?" Melissa drawled, a flicker of surprise passing across her features before she smirked again, regaining her composure. "I guess you'll find out just how strong your love is soon enough." With that, she turned and strode back into the night, leaving behind a silent crowd and a heaviness that settled over Emma like a storm cloud. "What does she mean by that?" Jake asked, voice laced with concern as he eyed Emma. Emma looked into his eyes, uncertainty gnawing at her. I don't know. But I'm afraid of what she might try, again. As the weight of the moment pressed down, that earlier warmth felt so far away. The vibrant music slowed to a dull thud against her eardrum. Could her family withstand another hit? What more was Melissa willing to unleash? The night still swirled around them, alive with laughter and music, but Emma felt a new resolve stirring. They would face this head-on, come what may. But could they truly emerge unscathed? As Lily tugged at her hand, pulling her back into the dance, Emma felt a quiet determination blossom. No matter what, she whispered softly, we'll be okay. But with the uncertainty thick in the air, Emma couldn't shake the feeling that the worst was yet to come. The dance floor felt alive with energy, but Emma was adrift in her thoughts. While Lily danced, oblivious, laughter and smiles around them seemed like a distant echo. Every twirl her daughter made pulled at Emma's heartstrings and deepened her resolve, she would protect this moment, this family. But as she caught sight of Jake's worried glance, uncertainty flickered back. Let us get some air, Jake suggested, standing up tall as he guided Emma away from the thrumming pulse of the floor. He took Lily's hand, leading her outside into the soft glow of the string lights that draped across the patio. The chill of the evening felt grounding, a stark contrast to the heated emotions inside. Are you okay, Mom? Lily asked, her innocent concern hitting Emma like a wave of warmth. Emma knelt beside her, brushing a lock of hair away from her face. I'm okay, sweetie. Just a little shaken up. But we're all together, and that's what matters, right? Lily nodded enthusiastically, her smile wide as she danced in place, her lightness a balm for Emma's unsettled heart. Jake watched with a thoughtful expression. I think we should leave, Em. I don't like the idea of her lingering. No. Emma shook her head, determination hardening her voice. I'm not going to let her chase me away. Not now. Not ever. The music drifted outside, soft yet lively, filling the spaces in their hearts. It reminded them of the joy they were trying to preserve. Yet Melissa's words echoed menacingly still, a dark undercurrent that threatened to drag her thoughts under. As Emma straightened, she glanced back into the venue. She could see vague silhouettes mingling and laughing while shadows darted like whispers. But she also felt the weight of Melissa's threat. Do you think she is really capable of something dangerous? Jake stepped closer, placing a protective hand on her shoulder. If she tries anything, we'll handle it. Together, he said firmly. Together, Emma repeated, feeling comforted by the solidarity. Suddenly, Lily interrupted with uncontainable excitement. Can we go back in? I want to dance. She jumped up and down, her little face alight with eagerness. Emma chuckled, the innocence of her daughter temporarily disconnecting her from the weight hanging in the air. You really love dancing, huh? Of course. It's the best. Lily exclaimed, and Emma couldn't help but share in her joy, if even for a moment. Okay, sweet pea. Let us go then. They made their way back inside, and as the music engulfed them again, Emma found herself swept into the rhythm of the night once more. But deep inside, the sense of impending conflict remained, lurking in the recesses of her mind, threading through her heightened sense of awareness. Then, a hush fell over the crowd as a strange tension crept back in. Emma's heart raced. Look, Jake murmured, his voice cutting through the music. Emma turned, her smile faltering as she saw Melissa at the edge of the dance floor, a small crowd encircling her, curious about whatever drama she was ready to serve. Emma's stomach nodded. What is she doing? Lily asked, tugging at Emma's shirt. I don't know, Emma whispered. Melissa raised her arms, a sly smile stretching across her face. I have an announcement. She bellowed, drawing the crowd's attention. The room fell silent, a collective breath held in anticipation. Emma felt trapped, her spirit's light dimming under Melissa's gaze. What now? Jake murmured, keeping his voice low, but Emma could hear the worry behind it. they stood, a tiny island of composure in a swelling sea of uncertainty. Emma's pulse quickened, each beat echoing louder than the last. As the crowd leaned in, waiting, the air thickened with tension, and Emma realized two things: she was ready to fight for her family, but what was Melissa poised to unleash this time? The moment was electric with potential, and the outcome uncertain. Emma clenched her fists, ready for whatever storm was about to unfold. Melissa's sharp smile cut through the crowd like a knife. Emma felt the weight of the moment pressing down on her, and panic bubbled within her. What is she going to say? Emma whispered to Jake, her voice barely holding on to composure. Jake's jaw tightened, and he stepped slightly in front of Emma and Lily, a silent promise to protect them. We'll handle whatever comes next. The hush in the room swelled with tension as Melissa basked in the moment. Ladies and gentlemen, she began, her voice dripping with mock sincerity, I have a little story to share for our lovely couple. Emma's heart raced. She can't shoo, just wait, Jake whispered, his eyes never leaving Melissa's face. With each word, Emma felt her defenses hardening. She would not let this moment ruin their joy. I heard a little rumor about our dear Emma, Melissa continued, her voice echoing against the high ceilings. Did you know that her rise to power was backed by, shall we say, questionable tactics? Laughter erupted from the crowd, but Emma felt nothing, only shock and anger coursing through her veins. She turned to Jake, who was clenched, a fierce determination on his features. Do you want to say something? He urged quietly, stepping closer. Yes, I do, Emma replied, her heart hammering with adrenaline. She took a deep breath and stepped forward, gripping Lily's hand tightly. You don't get to take my happiness away from me. Her voice rang clear, cutting through the lingering noise and shame. Melissa's smile faltered for a brief moment. But come on, everyone loves a good scandal, right? Gathering courage, Emma spoke. What I have built has nothing to do with rumors or lies. It's about love, sacrifice, and the hard work of those who believe in me and us. The crowd shifted, there were nods, whispers of support. Emma felt the swell of energy rise, a collective strength bolstering her resolve. I won't stand by while someone tries to shame me for my journey. My family stands here today, and that alone is what matters. Love conquers judgment. With that, silence enveloped the hall. The room felt electric, waiting for Melissa's next strike. Melissa, momentarily stunned, regained her composure. Oh please, Emma. You can't honestly think moving on would be that easy? You think everyone believes in fairy tales? There's always a price. The tension shimmered like a tightrope, and Emma clenched her jaw, standing tall. The only price is not knowing what I'm capable of, and you'll see just how strong our love truly is. A ripple ran through the crowd, awakening something powerful. In that defining moment, she looked to Lily, whose eyes sparkled with a blend of pride and innocence. Jake stepped forward, his protective energy enveloping her. We don't need to explain our life choices to anyone, especially not you, Melissa. With eyes now wide and curious, people began to turn their attention away from Melissa's chaos toward Jake and Emma's radiant energy. Let us share the love tonight instead, Jake declared, his voice ringing loud and clear, igniting a shift. The tension cracked, and laughter began to surface among the crowd once more, hands clapping and voices cheering for a family redefining their narrative. As the evening continued, people began to move toward Jake and Emma, smiles lighting up faces. Lively chatter mingled in the air as old acquaintances embraced new perspectives. Emma felt a weight lift off her shoulders, finally letting the joy seep back into her heart. They were all here for each other, kindred spirits joined by laughter and support. Melissa stood off to the side, her expression morphing from victory to confusion as the tide turned against her. Lily tugged at Emma's sleeve, her face a mix of excitement and admiration. You were so brave, Mom. You showed them. Emma smiled, her heart swelling with pride. We showed them, sweetheart. Together. With the night unfurling like a beautiful, vibrant dream, Emma pulled Jake and Lily into an embrace. They were a unit, strong, filled with unwavering love. As the music played on, Jake twirled Lily around while Emma joined in, their laughter echoing throughout the venue, the sound of triumph dancing through every corner of their lives. The future loomed bright, painted in colors of resilience and understanding. Emma squeezed Jake's hand tightly. "We will always face the storms together, right?" she whispered. "Always," he replied, radiating warmth as they spun into the night, surrounded by friends, love, and the promise of a tomorrow that would hold nothing back. This day, a moment etched in time, would remind them of what true happiness felt like: the beauty of family, the strength of friendship, and a love that knew no bounds. And just as the stars began to twinkle overhead, Emma felt the whispers of hope fill the air. Their story was far from over, it was just the beginning. Don't wait even one more second. You need to subscribe now to the channel so you never miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm, your support really matters. Comment below and share your reactions and feelings about this inspiring ending. And share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Your actions count, and only true fans understand the importance of support.